Welcome people to the third battle between Bobman and Ondjage. They are fighting for a spot in the quarterfinal of the Warhammer World Championship. And Bobman is coming in for the kill with Chaos. The strong infantry core here, some anti-large, some anti-infantry, Summoners of Rage, Sartorial with a lot of spells to kill cavalry most of all, and his exalted hero buddies with all the bells and whistles to defeat enemy paladins most likely and defeat the Fey Enchantress as well. One Chaos Warhound skulking in the back. You can see Ondjage is looking for it. He is on his last life here, facing tournament elimination. Doesn't pull this back, so pulling out all the stops. He's of course an experienced player who won't lose his cool too quickly. He's taking his time scouting this forest with his companions of Canal. Chaos Warhounds wisely run from that engagement. In Bretonia, they're kind of positioning themselves into a bit of a slope here. It won't play too much of a part. Yeah. Their forces are a nice mix of foot squires and just, cheap chaff. It's nice to see something different than just 5 peasant mobs once in a while. Just a few slightly more elite troops here. No over-investment into peasant archers, I would say. I count 3. The one I'm missing. No. So the pox arrows will mostly be used to debuff engagements. Of course, peasants will also do a decent amount of damage by themselves with those bows. But yeah, most of all you want to poison in this case to make sure you win the engagements that you need with your cavalry. Which is always the case for Bretonia, but against more lightly armored factions, you can actually rely on the peasant bowmen as the main damage dealers. They will still do a decent amount to Chaos Warriors and Chaos Warrior Halberds, but against something like these Mirror Guard, for example, they wouldn't do too much. So yeah, the forces are lining up. Only as I said, with that slight little slope, I don't think it's going to play too much of a part though. So the slope is actually more in the back. And he's looking for these charges with his cavalry. One of the Knights of the Realm also goes after the Chaos Warhounds in the back here. Probably hoping his opponent is too busy over here and has forgotten about him. But these guys start to move away. The Paladins, they go into the Chaos Marauders. And that's when the Chaos Cavalry, if you can call it that, Summoners of Rage countercharge. Almost get the catch on this Paladin. He manages to pull out. Paladin over here stays close enough to give that Guardian aura when it matters, and this actually works out well for Bretonia because the Summoners of Rage didn't really charge there, whereas the Questing Knights managed to get the charge back on them, which isn't too bad. But even so, Questing Knights are really suffering in this fight, as you can see, losing a lot of models before even receiving a single heal. In the front though, Chaos Marauders have already been broken, and the Mirror Guard are retreating from the Beast Slayers of Baston. Sigvald is not pleased. Demon Spew are fighting up against these foot squires. I would say that's a pretty good fight for them. And yeah, nice splits here. The upgraded Final Transmutation is not going to hurt the Fey Enchantress too much. And actually kind of missing the Paladins as well, except for those first couple of seconds of damage. So really good reaction by Ondjage there. He's really relying on his Paladins here to fight all of the enemy large. And if they had caught the Final Transmutation on their face and suffered throughout the whole duration of that, that would have been very bad. Now instead, they're actually beating on Sartorial, who is away from support, although this lightning almost cleans up those Questing Knights. Mirror Guard now send in to guard Sartorial. And the Exalted Hero also charges in. Man, those Questing Knights are taking a beating once again. Companions of Canal are healthy though. The two Exalted Heroes, I don't know how they got stuck on this side. I think they were trying to deal with the Companions of Canal. Yeah, they just got stuck here, getting beat on by big peasant shovels. It's of course a way to please the Dark Gods, going into heroic combat like that. And Chalice of Potions, aimed for the Chaos Warriors with Alberts. Let's see if Bobman has the right reaction to dodge that. Ondjage's Fey takes a lot of damage. He didn't pull back his Chaos Warriors, and that was pretty painful. Speaking of painful, the Fey Enchantress is down to like 50% hit points, but she should have more healing left in the tank, whereas Sartorial, he can't have too much magic at this point. I saw a couple Searing Doom. I saw an upgraded Final Transmutation. So yeah. Upgraded Final Transmutation is 28 Winds of Magic. Also lowers your power reserve by pretty much half when you cast it, so it takes a while to regenerate that back up as well. Now, another Searing Doom. That's a very good hit actually. Only single entities. On the Companions of Canal, who are pretty much the most important unit on the field. That is no Lord or hero. One thing Bretonnia just loves to see though is if their peasant bowmen are able to fire unmolested. They're taking down these Chaos Warriors with halberds. Slowly but surely. These guys are already routing, will be finished off. Ondjage sees that he doesn't have much ammo left and probably wants to save his box arrows for when he engages again, so we can really get the most out of those debuffs. Right now, shooting at the Mirror Guard, not doing too much. And yeah, there are some halberds here which technically look very good against all of this large, but they can be outmaneuvered, they can be cycle charged. And I believe there's still a Chalice of Potions as well, which if it gets a good hit, would be able to destroy those guys. So Sartorial and the Exalted Heroes wisely staying within the protection of their halberds. Bretonnia just has so many bodies to throw at them. They want to go for it. Peasant Mob is escorting the Chaos Marauders to the edge of the map. At this point, Bretonnia using the rest of their ammo. These Slayers cannot disengage from this combat. Will be fighting pretty much until the last man there. Now they do get terrified. 24 models left, but they fought like champs. One of the few tough Bretonnian infantry units. The Chaos is staying in their little blob formation, while Ondjage is looking for the right angle to attack this. Realizes he can take his time. Does overextend the Paladin there a little bit. That guy gets circle beaten by the Exalted Heroes and Sartorial. Will probably terrify her in a second. Well, for now his leadership is holding. It seems to be fine actually, maybe it was intentional. Get these guys to attack him and then counter charge. Never know. This time Bobman is really looking for that Chalice of Potions and pulls back his Chaos Warriors right on time, except that guy. He got up again. Okay, fair enough. It looked pretty deadly to me, but these guys are Chaos Warriors, they're not regular humans. Is that another Final Transmutation? Oh, it's an upgraded Earthblood. Ooh, and there's an upgraded Final Transmutation. And this time it's not dodged, so you can see the damage really coming in onto that Paladin. Onto both Paladins actually. The Fey, of course, very resistant to that. Sartorial still looking for the cycle charges. While the Fey and the Paladin, who survived, managed to beat on the Exalted Hero. Chaos Warriors do get drained. Fey's aura, but this Paladin could be terrified off, as the Fey is terrified off. By the balance of power, this looks like Chaos is getting somewhat of an upper hand, at least at this stage, but they have nothing left to finish off the Fey or the Paladin at this point, and these will of course just rally, and perhaps heal up. No. Botman is not going to wait for that. He figures cannot win this stage. I'm out of magic. Ondjage pulls back the series. He's still behind, of course. With a nice buried infantry force there. And I want to say solid protection of his back line. Of course, there was only one dog, but sometimes that's all it takes. Getting a lot of value on his box arrows. And yeah, Knights actually not doing too hot, most of them. They were up against some strong opposition there. Yeah, Sartorial, man, so much value. But I do think the first final transmutation, the dodge there, was the deciding moment in that battle. Because if the first one lands, then the second one is probably enough to finish it off. So guys, thanks for watching. We'll see if Bretonnia, or rather Ondjage, manages to get the equalizer in the next game, or whether Botman will take the 3-1 victory. See you there.